All right, so I've had this thing for like 3 months, and I thought I would give an honest feedback, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and ultimately if I think it's worth the money. Now, I've actually tried quite a few cold plunges over the past couple of years. I've been doing it pretty consistently for like 3 years now. I think for me, the main benefits that I feel from a cold plunge are actually mental. Like, I feel good for a while afterwards. One of my favorite things about cold plunging is that it's just hard to do. It just trains me to kind of do hard things, and then obviously wakes you up, feel good, helps my shoulder pain go away. But anyways, when I'm looking at a cold plunge, ultimately, I just want it to do the cold thing as easily as possible. I want ease of use. I don't want something complex. And I think this thing is actually very, very easy. So I'll go into some pros first before we get into any cons, but overall, this is just very easy. You use like a little bike pump thing to blow it up. Incredibly simple to set up. Maintenance is also very simple. If we look at the back here, I apologize for my voice, by the way. We pretty much have one cord going in, one cord going out. In here, we got the, I don't want to screw it all up, but we have the filter right in there. This thing right here is a absolute beast, by the way. As you can see, it's 36 degrees right now, but I'm gonna crank it up to 93 and we'll have a hot tub by tonight, which is awesome. And that is one of the main things that I like about this. You got a hot tub, you got a cold plunge in the same place. Now, that being said, I have a cold plunge right here and I have a hot tub right there, a wood-fired hot tub. That thing takes about 2.5 hours to heat up. It's very fun. I definitely enjoy it. We have the desert plunge here, which is very solid, but it's just a cold plunge. And then we have this for a similar price, but it takes the place of both of those. And both of those are great, don't get me wrong. But if you want something that can kind of do everything and you're able to move it pretty easy like that, it's pretty hard for me to move. It's very heavy. This, very simple to move, especially when it's empty, very easy to clean. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of this. As far as getting in, this is by far the biggest cold plunge I've personally been in that you can fill it up with water, and I'm over 6 foot. I can sit in there, it totally covers me. Some of the other ones just aren't as big inside. So this one's much taller than other ones. So that would be one negative thing about it, is that I can't rest my arms on the side while I'm sitting in there because my arms would be up here because it's so deep. And so that's one thing. I wish I could just rest my arms like here. I know you're supposed to have your arms in there, but sometimes you don't want it when you want to rest your arms. That would just be one thing that's like slightly too big, maybe too deep. But ultimately, that's probably a bonus for most people when you think about it. So depends on what you need. But if you're anything like a bigger guy, this is going to be awesome, plenty of room. It's also a little bit taller, right? So you might want to get a step if you're not super flexible, but you can see it goes like up to my like waist, my hip here. So you got to be able to step over, which is not an issue for me, but just something to consider, that it's definitely a little bit deeper and therefore a little bit harder to get into than some of the other ones if you're like really not flexible or something like that. But that probably won't be an issue for, again, like 90-something% of people. Let's talk about this thing. It just feels like it's like small rocket ship. I don't know, it's just like so much bigger than all the other chillers that I've had that it just feels like a very much of a beast. It's been running really good. I did have a problem where it was like beeping and turning off, but it seemed like it was just because some stuff got in the filter and it was turning itself off. Ever since then, for the past like 3 weeks, after I figured that out, it has not happened and it's just been running, doing its thing, which is awesome. And ultimately, you can get it down to that like 30s level. I think it's supposed to go down to 37. It's pretty cold out right now, so we can get it lower. And then it goes all the way up to like the 90s. And that's just one of the really cool things about this, is that you get that heating, you get that cooling, you get the hot tub, cold plunge, whatever you want, you can have out of this. And you can kind of have the best of both worlds for a pretty reasonable price when you compare buying either one of those individually. Again, it just makes more sense. And I think they actually have a sale, or they're about to have one, depending on when you're watching this. And so I'll put a link down in the description. We can get an extra discount with my link if you are interested in buying one of these. They're not paying me to say anything here. I want to put that out there, but it is an affiliate link, so it does help support the channel. But I'm very honest with everything here. If there's something I don't like, I tell you. If there's something I do like, I tell you, because ultimately I just want to help you make the best decision for what's right for you. And for some people, you know, this is going to be what's right. For other people, you might want more of a desert plunge style. It just like depends on what you're looking for. Same thing with saunas. Some people are cold plunge people and hot tub people. Some people are sauna people. But I think if you're ready to go past that like beginner stage and you really want to work on this, then this can be a great one, especially if we go into the winter. If you want to have that hot tub option, I think this is a really cool. I'm personally going to be using the hot tub tonight, which I'm really excited about. And I've used it a couple times. My wife's used it. She really likes that. And then I use it as a cold plunge probably 90% of the time. And then you can just flip it on the day that you want the hot tub and then let it go back to cold. So again, if you want to check one of these out, I will leave a link down below with an extra discount to everything that I have talked about here. And go out there, get cold, heal yourself, do hard things, and I'll see you next, I don't know. I haven't posted, I don't know.